Actually, I'll have to leave at 12.
Start with the proceedings of this lecture today. I would request everyone to rise for the university. Okay, presentation ceremony. Pooja Sharma to present the bouquet to the Vice Chancellor. Mudasir Altaf Bhatt will present the bouquet to Dr. Bayam Singh. Dr. Pooja Gupta will present a bouquet to Dr. A.S. Chawla. And Dr. Pooja Sharma will present a bouquet to Dr. Devinder Singh. Dr. M.S. Kang, former Vice Chancellor, Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. Dr. A.S. Chawla, Dean Academic Affairs. Dr. Devinder Singh, Dean Faculty of Life Sciences and Registrar. Dr. Tejinder Kaur, Director, Center for Diaspora Studies. Faculty members, guests, students and friends. Incidentally, we have another distinguished guest on the dais, as you can see, Dr. Bayam Singh Ahluwalia, who has accompanied Dr. M.S. Kang. Dr. Bayam Singh Ahluwalia is also a scientist. He is connected with the Atomic Energy Commission and he lives in Vienna, Austria, and he has been in several capacities in Ireland earlier and other places too. We heartily welcome you, sir, as a special guest of ours today. As coordinator of UGC Center for Diaspora Studies, I warmly welcome you all to this 6th lecture being organized by the Center by eminent scientist and academician Dr. M.S. Kang, former Vice Chancellor of Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana, on the contribution of Punjabi Diaspora to Indian and world agriculture. It has been the Centre's aim and endeavor to engage in interdisciplinary dialogue on various issues and developments connected with Indian and more specifically with Punjabi Diaspora. It is in this connection that a lecture on this important field and area of research and production was planned. The Centre is extremely grateful to Dr. Jaspal Singh Ji, Vice Chancellor, under whose dynamic and progressive leadership the Centre has been striving and is gradually realizing its vision and objectives to spearhead advanced knowledge and research on Punjabi Sikh diaspora and its dynamic contributions to societies and nations wherever it is located. I hasten to add our sense of gratitude to Dr. M.S. Kang for accepting our invitation to be here and sparing valuable time to deliver this lecture. This lecture becomes all the more relevant since 2015-16 happens to be the golden jubilee year of the Green Revolution that revolutionized agriculture not only in Punjab and North India, but also affected economy, progress, standard of living and education in a big way. Surely a landmark that coalesced the Western know-how with the grit and positive character of Punjabis involved with agricultural life. The transition from feudal and manual character of peasant life to modern advanced mechanized agricultural one is indeed a facet of the major occupation in a country like India. Punjabis, particularly Sikhs, as is well known, have made their mark in other states of India too, where they have turned barren lands, vacant spaces in difficult terrains into productive agricultural assets. This might be, as we can say, the Punjabi internal diasporic movement within India, not only in agriculture, but in other fields as well. In a sense, the early Indian diaspora, also known as the plantation diaspora under British colonialism was primarily a product of agricultural requirements in colonized spaces like Mauritius, Fiji, the Caribbean and others, where Indians along with others toiled and contributed as indentured workforce, much like the role of Punjabis in East and Central Africa in construction work, along with the early sixth pioneer migration to the USA and Canada was of agriculturalists, who were attracted to tremendous possibilities of economic progress in the vast vacant lands, which they subsequently exploited and were a key factor in their economic rise and later settlement. This could be extended to other world areas as well, where Punjabis made a mark in diverse professions and fields of activity, including agriculture, horticulture, and related sectors in which Punjabis' physical strength, traditional background, and progressive ideas helped in success stories that are now well known. Back home, the Green Revolution and its accompanying mechanization of agriculture transformed the whole Punjabi mindset and existential pattern, affecting other significant social and familial areas besides economy, as stated earlier. That Green Revolution and its after effects have been an area of controversy or debate is something that continue to echo even now, while looking back at the Nehruvian era and its vital contributions for modernizing Indian industry and economic infrastructure. However, it goes without saying that the Punjabi's rich contribution to world and Indian agriculture remains one of its nodal achievements, although it has brought along with many less satisfying and distressing changes today, which need serious thinking. With these words, I welcome you all once again to this lecture. Thank you very much. I would now invite Dr. Tejinder Kaur, Director of the Center, for inaugural remarks.
Esteemed Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Jaspal Singh ji, Dr. M.S. Kang, former Vice Chancellor, Punjab Agricultural University, Patiala, an eminent scholar in the field of agriculture, the Speaker of the Day, Dr. Beyan Singh ji, special guest today, Dr. A.S. Chawla, Professor of Commerce and Management and Dean Academic Affairs, Punjabi University, Patiala, Dr. Davinder Singh, Professor of Zoology, Dean Faculty of Life Sciences and Registrar, Punjabi University, Patiala, Dr. Manjeetinder Singh, guests, officials of the university, heads and faculty members of various departments, research scholars and students. Very good morning to all of you. I, on behalf of myself and the Center for Diaspora Studies, extend you all a very warm welcome and express my gratitude for accepting our invitation to be with us during the 6th special lecture organized by Center for Diaspora Studies, Punjabi University, Patiala. It is indeed a matter of pride for the Center, which is organizing this 12th event today since its inception in December 2012. I want to tell you a few things about this center. This is the 3rd center in our country approved by the UGC, the first being in Central University of Hyderabad and another in the university in Gujarat at Patan. The earlier events organized by the center have been 5 special lectures on different areas of diaspora studies by eminent diaspora scholars, Dr. Chandrasekhar Bhatt, Dr. Paramjit Singh Judge, Dr. Avadesh K. Singh, Dr. Alka Pandey, and Dr. Anjali. An orientation program for translators arranged with the help of Translation Mission New Delhi. A 2-day workshop on Indian Punjabi diaspora, identities, locations, and intersections. 3 international conferences on Indian Punjabi diaspora, narratives of migration in Southeast Asia and Far East, and Indian Punjabi diasporic cinema, narratives of transnational experience and the other one, which was organized in the last week of Feb, Multidisciplinary Dynamics of Indian Punjabi Migration and an interface with diasporic NRI writers, journalists, media persons, and counselors from different countries. One national seminar on Kamagata Maru, trends and dimensions in connection with Punjabi diaspora. The center has also published the proceedings of 3 conferences and the first volume of the project World Punjabi Diaspora series titled Punjabi Diaspora in Britain. The second volume of the project Punjabi Diaspora in Canada, a multiple profile, is under progress, and the projects on 3 more countries, USA, Australia, and Malaysia, will be taken up in the room. The center has also launched its own website, which during the past 7 months has received more than 25,000 hits from different countries. The center is also offering 1-year PG Diploma in Diaspora Studies, which is interdisciplinary in nature. The center will also visit shortly a few villages in Punjab to interact with the NRIs. The center is also engaged in preparing a database of Punjabis living in other countries, engaged in different activities and fields. A digital directory will also be prepared with the help of computer department, providing an information about Punjabis in Britain. The main objective of this center is to connect the faculty and scholars of all the disciplines and areas involved with diaspora issues, not only of our university and other universities within India, but also from other countries, and plan and work together to make Punjabi University Patiala a nodal center of diaspora studies. For this grand purpose, we seek the advice, suggestions, and cooperation of all our friends within the nation and beyond in order to give a practical shape to the vision and mission of the center, which in fact is the dream and brainchild of our Vice Chancellor Sahib, who has been a motivating force behind all the plannings and activities of this center. We are grateful to you, sir, for your positive approach, constant encouragement, resourcefulness, and unflinching support in every venture taken up by the center. His inspiring leadership and ever-evolving vision for the multidimensional growth of this university have lately brought A grade for the university from the NAC. Now, when we were planning the areas of special lectures for this session, we thought of connecting science departments also with Center for Diaspora Studies, and we were thinking of somebody who from the field of agriculture will deliberate on the contribution of Punjabi diaspora to Indian and world agriculture. As Dr. Manjeet Singh has rightly pointed out, Punjabis are known all over the world for their agricultural acumen. I talked about this to my friends, Dr. Manjeet Singh Sagu from the Department of Botany and Dr. N.S. Atri to suggest me some name, and their immediate response was the name of Dr. Manjeet Singh Kang. Dr. Sagu arranged the email ID, and then after that followed my communication with Dr. Kang. Friends, I want to share one thing with you. Dr. Kang's prompt and warm reply not only thrilled me and my colleagues in the center, it was also a learning experience in humility, appreciation, and encouragement. Thank you, sir. Since then, my communication with him on phone and mail has always been enriching and overjoying every time. Sir, I fail to find words to welcome and thank you for accepting our request to share your views on the contribution of Punjabi diaspora to Indian and world agriculture. Actually, this lecture was earlier fixed on January 28, 2016, but due to the sudden holiday announced by Punjab government, we had to postpone it. But I want to tell you, Dr. Kang, since that day, most of the teachers and students of the university, they have been waiting for your arrival in the university. I am really grateful to you for making it to Patiala. My sincere thanks again are due to Dr. Kang, who has brought his friend, Dr. Bayan Singh, here to share his views about, I'm from a discipline of English and Dr. Manjeet in that too. We do not know what they are going to talk about. He is a specialist in plant biotechnology and what they will say about Punjabi diaspora and agriculture, that will come to know only when they express their views. I'm really grateful to you, sir, for having agreed to share your views about the topic we have planned for discussion today. My sincere thanks are due to Dr. A.S. Chawla for agreeing to be the guest of honor on this occasion, and to Dr. Devinder Singh for acceding to my request to propose vote of thanks. I am full of gratitude for all the guests, faculty members, research scholars, and students who have boosted our morale by their presence with us this morning. My friends in the center, Dr. Manjeet Singh, Dr. Pooja Gupta, Dr. Pooja Sharma, Mr. Mudassir Bhatt, Mr. Lajpat, and Mrs. Sandeep deserve special thanks for making this event happen today. Once again, I welcome and thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tejinder for introducing the center's activities to the audience. I have with me the bio note of Dr. M.S. Kang before I invite him to deliver this talk. It's quite enviable, and I think, yes, I'm going to be very brief about that. As you know, he's been the former VC of Punjab Agricultural University. Currently, he is a professor in the honorary capacity at Kansas State University, Manhattan, USA. I have underlined only a few things because it's a long and a very enviable bio. He has served as Vice Chancellor from 2007 to 2011. Previously served for 21 years as Professor of Quantitative Genetics in the School of Plant, Environment and Soil Sciences, Louisiana State University. Prior to that, he was a sugarcane geneticist, assistant professor with the Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences at the University of Florida. Dr. Kang received his PhD degree in 1977 in genetics and plant breeding from the University of Missouri, Columbia. He also earned an MA in botany degree from Southern Illinois University, received his MS plant genetics degree from SIU Edwardsville in 1971. He earned a BSc Agricultural and Animal Husbandry degree with honors from PAU in 1968. Dr. Kang was selected as a Fulbright senior scholar to Malaysia earlier. He has served as Sigma X1 Scientific Research Society Distinguished Lecturer from July 2007 to 9. In February 2010, MIT University, Noida based on him MIT Academic Excellence Award. In 2011, he received from Guru Nanak Dev University the Vishnu Singh Samundri Lectureship Award. Dr. Kang has served as chair of the National Selection Committee for Fulbright Nehru Senior Research Scholar Awards given by the US India Educational Foundation earlier. I will not read out the details, but he is the author of several prestigious volumes related to agricultural production and climate change, as well as the issues in Punjab agriculture. Dr. Kang has lectured internationally on quantitative genetics as applied to crop improvement in Hungary, in Malaysia, at South Dakota State University, at Yunnan Academy of Agricultural Sciences at Kunming, as International Rice Research Institute in Philippines, and at International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in Nigeria. As if these details are not enough, there are many more. so I have cut down the details. And now it is our privilege, on behalf of the center, I invite him to deliver this talk. So that's it.
It's good noon, exactly 12 o'clock. So I'm safe by just saying good noon, and in 1 minute it'll be good afternoon. It's always a pleasure for me to be here at Punjabi University. I've been here several times before. That's why I come back, because my experience has been very good always. So before I start with the talk, it's always a good idea to start with some light story. So they say there was a businessman, he went to a doctor, and he was under a lot of stress, so the doctor suggested that he should take a vacation. And he should go to Egypt, maybe rent a camel, ride a camel. So he did just that. He went to Egypt and rented a camel. He got instructions how to ride the camel. The instructions were that when you want to speed up the camel, just say wow, wow. It'll speed up. And when you want to stop the camel, you say amen. So he's riding the camel, he's going wow, wow, wow. So the camel is going faster and faster. So all of a sudden he sees a cliff. So, and he's out of his wits, what to do. So he forgot the instruction how to stop the camel. So, being a Christian, it's a US story. So he started talking to God. All prayers in, Christian prayers end in amen. So as soon as he said amen, the camel stopped. Right on the cliff. Then he got curious. He said, let me look down, He said, wow. So upshot is never be stressed. It's an unusual topic for me in one sense. Diaspora, but the common denominator that I see is the contribution of Indian diaspora, Punjabi diaspora actually, to Indian diaspora would become very large. So, to Indian and world agriculture. So, first of all, I think we were talking before this lecture that some people don't even know what diaspora means. Some people thought it's a disease of some kind. And so I thought, being a teacher, it's always good to give definition. So diaspora comes from the ancient Greek word meaning to scatter about. Dispersion or spread of many people from their origin or homeland. Now this is from the website of Diaspora Center at Punjabi University, and this is very appropriate depiction of diaspora. So here's a plant, and it's distributing its seed all over the place. So congratulations on selecting such a good picture. Now I have gotten some things, diaspora when they leave the country, it's a brain drain. It's considered a brain drain. So the things that changed from brain drain, it's now brain bank. They come back. So to contribute to the society, to the motherland. So it's a brain gain or brain trust or brain circulation, all kinds of definitions of return of diaspora to India or Punjab. This shift in thinking is evident in India because of the manifold contribution being made by the Indian diaspora to their home country. So, and this is what Chanda and Ghosh in 2012 article say. They say when Punjab was annexed by the British in 1848, it was the last state to fall. And once taxes were put on agriculture, the Punjabis started to immigrate, go outside, leave the country. They first went to the UK and later to Canada and the USA. So, growing interest in diaspora and diaspora-related issues, their outcome, the spread or diffusion of globalization technology, because the world is shrinking, leading to the widening and transformation of diaspora and homeland relations. A lot of functions are being held, by diaspora, Pravasi. Diaspora play an important and constructive role in the economic development of the homeland. So this is another article by Thandi, and Punjabi Diaspora and Homeland Relations. That's the title of that article. So now, I thought I should start, I dwell on being an agriculturist, number one, and a scientist, on scientists of Punjabi origin. So, there's only one person that I know who's got Nobel Prize, that's Dr. Hargobind Khurana, 1968, when I was finishing up my bachelor's degree at Punjab Agricultural University. And the title at that time in the newspaper was, "A scientist who could not get a job in India bags Nobel Prize." So you can imagine, how things were for Dr. Khurana around that time. In 68, he got Nobel Prize. So, I think he was born in Pakistan, and birth certificate date, we all have different dates, pre-British era. So, he got his bachelor's, MS degrees from Punjab University, and PhD from University of Liverpool in 1948, many years ago. So then the Nobel Prize in Physiology in Medicine, 1968. And so he just passed away about 4 or 5 years ago, 2011. He uncovered the genetic code. We know the genetic code now. And he was instrumental in the uncovering of the genetic code. So chemically, he synthesized the first gene in 1970. He synthesized the gene and demonstrated in 1979 that it was functional in the bacteria, a landmark in genetics. He ushered in the era of recombinant DNA. Now we talk about genetic engineering, recombinant DNA. That's all because of, his lead. So then I have these other scientists, related to Punjab Agricultural University. So I think this is Dr. D.S. Atwal, Dilwag Singh Atwal. So, Indian plant breeder. He joined the International Rice Research Institute's management team, and he served as first deputy director in Philippines. So that's where the rice research is being done. And he was also instrumental in developing the first varieties of wheat. They were brought in from Mexico. Dr. Borlaug, who is in this picture, in red jacket, that's Norman Borlaug. And Norman Nobel Prize for Peace, because there is no Nobel Prize in agriculture, so only peace. So because he's brought peace to so many people through agriculture. And he's with the PAU scientists. So several of them I know, in the picture. I think this is Dr. Nanda, he was director of research at PAU at the time. So he's conversing with Dr. Borla. So in the 60s, what we knew about agriculture was, or about food situation of India. It was called ship-to-mouth existence. That India had a ship-to-mouth existence. Why ship-to-mouth? Food came from America on ships, and it was immediately consumed. So ship-to-mouth. And so what have we done? Now we are way away from the ship-to-mouth existence. We have food security bill, food for all, food security for all. So how did that happen? Achievement of scientists, and particularly the Indian Punjabi scientists. Punjab Agricultural University was at the forefront of this green revolution. So many of our scientists at the time were trained in the US or Australia, maybe UK also. So, and they came back to serve Punjab. So this is what brought about, the so-called green revolution. So now a few things about Dr. Atwal's key papers. He published, he developed the first bajra, hybrid bajra in the world, they say. So not only in India, and he published a paper with Norman Borlaug also, genetic sterility of wheat breeding. So you don't have to remember all of the titles, but just the gist that the contributions of Dr. Atwal. So these were seminal contributions of scientists. So we wrote a book. Dr. Aluwalia is here, myself and Dr. Chadda. So the book title is Punjab Agriculture, the Challenges Ahead. So it was just released last year. And it's dedicated to Dr. Atwal, so who pioneered the introduction of dwarf wheats in Punjab. Now, if you see along the roadside right now, there's wheat, and those varieties are very short. In the 60s or earlier, the wheat varieties were very tall. So it is, so he actually did selection, and the first variety out of the selection from Mexico was Colyan, named after his village. So we have another scientist who has done a lot of work in rice breeding, Dr. Gurdev Kush. So he, in 1996, got World Food Prize. Since there is no Nobel Prize in agriculture, so Dr. Norman Borlaug, who got the only prize in agriculture for peace, so he thought that he should encourage the establishment of an award for other scientists who would probably never get a Nobel Prize. So the World Food Prize is considered a Nobel Prize in agriculture. So Dr. Kush got this award, and he's a PhD graduate born in 1935 in Roorkee near Jalandhar. So he had a class fellow for Dr. Aluwalia. So there were several class fellows. Dr. Chadda was also their class fellow, who was co-author on this book. And so very productive class, I would think. So I'm sure he probably would say a few words about his experiences. So Dr. Kush spent most of his time in the International Rice Institute. So he joined in 1967 and worked there nearly 30 years. Yeah. And so this is what I thought, you probably would want to hear about the contribution of these people. So he was the head of the department. He's basically served in the trenches. He did the breeding work himself. So he had a team, always did the team. So he developed some 300 varieties of rice, and such as semi-dwarf IR36, those names may not mean much to you. World rice production increased from 257 million tons in 1966 to 626 million tons in 2006. So it's a significant jump in production of rice. And so you can see how the production, food production has kept pace with the increasing population. It is through the innovative work of scientists. So, impact of IDI variety, IDI International Rice Research Institute, 328 varieties, lines and leaves as 643 varieties in 75 countries. So, impact is worldwide of that. An estimated 60% of the world rice area today is planted to varieties bred at International Rice Research Institute in Philippines. And Dr. Kush's contribution is tremendous in that. And he got several other prizes, rank prize for nutrition. In 2002, he got recognition for a 29 years service as the head of the plant breeding department. He was the head of the division. So, and they named a hall after him, you know, at that institute. So several other things, you know, once you are that prominent, you get a lot of recognition. So you got Punjabi Agriculture University dedicated a building. It's called Gurdev Kush Biotechnology Lab at PAU. And then last year, in 2015, since he got his PhD from University of California, Davis, so they named a conference hall after him, called the Gurdev Kush Conference Room in a building. So he has won many other awards, including the Borlaug Award, the Japan Prize, Padma Shri. You know, he deserves probably, you know, much more than Padma Shri. And World Prize in Agriculture, Golden Sickle Award from Thailand, and he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1995. So, foreign member of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences. So these are a lot of accomplishments, and then accomplishments bring you awards. So, to contribute to advancement of agriculture research through competitive grants and project assistance to research teams of Punjabi Agriculture University, he has set up a foundation called Gurdev Singh Kush Foundation. So this is the purpose of that foundation, to provide scholarship to deserving students from rural areas of the Punjab state. So these are contributions. He lives in California, Davis. So, and he comes here every year. So it's a non-profit philanthropic organization. You know, maybe this university should tap into this foundation and maybe get some scholarships, you know, for rural students. So that'd be a good thing, you know. The mission of the foundation is to contribute to the enhancement of agricultural research and capacity building at PAU. So, but they also assist, I believe, in high schools. So that's what I understand. To national and international scholars for participation in national, regional. So they give these travel grants, and those faculty who cannot afford to go, so they assist them. So then there are a whole bunch of other people, Punjabi origin, who worked at the International Rice Research Institute. Dr. Sant Singh Birmani is here, working on hybrid rice. So his contributions are also tremendous in hybrid rice. Generally, rice is not hybrid, but there is hybrid rice is very popular in China. So it's not so popular in India, but it's Dr. Birmani's work who has given impetus to this site. So he's gotten a lot of awards. Pravasi Bharatiya Saman Award, and Japan International Koshi Hikari Rice Prize. Then Dr. Broad, he was also at IRI. So these are all team members of the Punjabi Diaspora. I was there for a week, and they used to call it. There were several other scientists working there, and they say it's the Punjabi Mafia. So it's a diaspora and scientists. So Dr. Broad has made a lot of contributions and also got some of another young scientist, Parminder Virk. What he's holding in his hand is golden rice. What they call, have you heard of golden rice? So rice is white. Says here he has golden rice. So this is a manipulation of the rice to incorporate vitamin A content into it. A lot of people are deficient in vitamin A around the world. So if you have a diet that's rich in vitamin A, so this is his job now to, it has not been released because it's genetically engineered or GMO, those kind of things. But work is going on. So, Parminder Virk, he's a PAU graduate, and he worked at most of his time in Philippines as a rice breeder. And his MSc and PhD are both from PAU, and he worked at the University of Birmingham before he went to IRI. Now I believe he's in ICRISAT in Hyderabad. So he has developed some 27 rice varieties from major rice growing countries, and several are still in the pipeline. So there are more varieties are being developed from his work. And Harvest Plus is an organization of the CG system, what they call the CG system, Consultative Group on Agriculture. So vitamin A, golden rice, and other nutrients. So that's what they do. And biofortification. Biofortification means putting these nutritional elements through genetics into crops. So then we have another person of Punjabi origin, Dr. Surendra Bansal. So, and he also born in Punjab and 2000 World Food Prize winner. So he shared the prize with Dr. Vilaya for their combined efforts in achieving breeding and advancing quality protein maize. So they worked on maize, basically in Mexico, to improve productivity and nutrition in malnourished and poverty-stricken areas of the world. So his work has been recognized. So if you haven't heard of CIMIT, CIMIT simply is an abbreviation of the Spanish whole thing, Centro Internacional de Mejoramiento de Maíz y Trigo International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center. So he basically oversees this project. Our diets are deficient in lysine, so if we can develop a maize that is high in lysine and other amino acids, so we can extract that from our food. He conducted the first set of 58 tropical and subtropical lines, so he developed a lot of materials for the world to use. And then he moved to Thailand. So he trained several hundred researchers from India, Thailand, China, Philippines, Vietnam, Nepal. So wherever the maize is of essence. So he won the Presidential Award of the Crop Science Society of America in 2000 and Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Sciences. And he received from the Crop Science International Service and Crop Science Award from an International Agronomy Award. So several awards from professional society. So, and this is Dr. Aliwalia. Found an older picture of him, so I guess it's not that old, a few years ago. So, and his biodata, I'm sure, if I read and they wouldn't read, so I'll say a few words. He's an ex-staff member of the Agriculture and Food Development Authority in Dublin, Ireland, very good for 30 years. Served as technical officer with the Joint Division Nuclear Techniques in Food and Agriculture of FAO, that is United Nations, and International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna, Austria, where he still lives. So he has participated and implemented technical assistance projects in agriculture in more than 30 countries, Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So he is coordinator of biotechnology for the joint FAO and IAEA, that's the Atomic Energy Division. So he was a visiting scientist at the experiment station of Hawaiian sugarcane planters. So he's been involved in many different crops. So that was in Hawaii, and then I worked in the epigenetics, advanced science and medicine, Wisconsin. Visiting professor, he's been giving lectures at Punjabi University to our students there. And every year he comes and he has taught them one thing or another about biotechnology. So here he's showing some tissue culture plants to students at PAU. So here he's giving lecture. So whenever we find, whenever he comes, we used to make maximum use of Dr. Aliwalia. So he was always very kind to us. So he authored several books. One of them we co-authored just recently. And he invited experts for reviewing projects in European Commission on Agriculture, Biotechnology and Rural Development of the European Union. So, very interesting book he wrote. I think you should get hold of that. Invasion of the Gene, Genetic Heritage of India, where the Y chromosome, Y is the male chromosome, a little bit of genetics. So, where the Y chromosome came from. Through all those attacks on India, all these people came. So, how we inherited that. So, it's a very interesting reading. And this is our latest book, Punjabi Agriculture, The Challenges Ahead. Then we have another scientist who is located now in the US at Ohio State University, Dr. Ratanlal, PAU graduate, and he got his PhD from Ohio State University many years ago. So he's been involved in many activities throughout the world, particularly in Germany. So a member of the steering committee in Global Soil Week, and a member of the advisory board of food and agriculture and climate change. So he's a distinguished professor, university professor of soil science since 2001. And he started his own center at Ohio State University, and that is called the Carbon Management and Sequestration Program. How to arrest carbon dioxide, because carbon dioxide causes global warming. And in 2014, Thomson Reuters, they said he was one of the world's most influential scientific minds between 2002 and 2013. There. So he was president-elect in 2014 of International Union of Soil Science, Vienna, Austria. Maybe Dr. Aliwalia will know about that. 2007-8, member of this NRC-NAS panel in Africa, in Washington, D.C. He became the first Indian region president of the Soil Science Society of America. So far, he's the only one who has become president of a professional society in the United States. So, and he was on the international panel on climate change, working group in Geneva. So many accolades, so many contributions, president of the International Soil Tillage Research Organization, president of the World Association of Soil and Water Conservation. So, and he was a gold medalist from PAU. You know, I think it was one of the first classes of PAU. So he's got an Editor's Choice Award, Doctor of Science Honoris Causa from Germany, Rosenstedt Fellow, so many others, particularly from Germany. So, honorary member of Indian Society of Soil Science, World Association of Soil Conservation and Water Conservation, Professional Achievement Award, Alumni Association of Ohio State, Doctor of Science from other universities, Moldova, and Dr. Patiala has gotten other awards, MS Swaminathan Award, Nobel Prize certificate. When Al Gore, former Vice President of the U.S., got a Nobel Prize, his team, it was a team award. So several people got the Nobel Peace Prize certificate in this. So he was in there. Then he got a Norman Borlaug Award. Another scientist from Tuticorin, Dr. Bikram Gill, a good friend of mine, and he received his degrees from Punjabi University, PhD from University of California, Davis, and he conducted some seminal work. He was a postdoc at the University of Missouri. He started something that was being done in only human beings. He transferred it to plants for the first time. So that was called Giemsa bending, deciphering different chromosomes through that system. So he was at the University of Florida, where I also worked. Actually, I took his job when he left that place. So he was sugarcane breeder, and I was also. And now he's a distinguished university professor at Kansas State University. And I have again joined in his same department, so we keep track of each other and we follow each other around. So he started something through his leadership. Wheat Genetics Resource Center, that's germplasm, different genetic resources. So in 1984, and he was the director of that. It has supplied stocks of wheat to geneticists, workers, breeders from all over the world. It's a big contribution. His work has been recognized, Kansas State University Distinguished Graduate Faculty Award, and of course the University Distinguished Professor is a big honor. Not everybody gets that. So fellow of several societies, and then he has received so many other awards, visiting scholar to India. He came here also as a visiting scholar. So contributing as a diaspora to the motherland. You know, we all have that tendency. We think we need to come back, contribute something. So we did that. And I guess I also came back. You know, I did a little bit. So visiting scholar professor to Russia, Ukraine, and UNDP visiting scholar in China, so in Germany also. So he's gotten many awards, particularly I think I would big honor for him, Wheat Man of the Year. So he's a Wheat Man of the Year recognized by the Association of Wheat Growers, that is the farmers. And Crop Science Research Award, also very little chance for people, a lot of people apply for this award, get nominated, very few get it. And I can tell you that I was the one who nominated him for that award, and we were able to get that award for him in 1998. Outstanding Scientist Award from an organization of Indian and Agriculture, Association of Agricultural Scientists of Indian Origin. And he is listed in the Century's top 10 Sikh scientists in Punjabi magazine in 1999. So he's one of the top highly cited scientists in animal and plant sciences by Thomson Reuters, 2006. And I was at that time, we just learned in 2007, so we spread the news in newspapers. So he's gotten several awards, and the latest one was National Friendship Award from the government of China. And he said that was given by the President of China. So in 2012, very recent. So his accomplishments are there. Then another class fellow of Dr. Ahluwalia, Dr. Gurdev Ghosh, Dr. Ahluwalia, Dr. Dilpreet Dev, these are all class fellows. So, during the past 30 years, dairying and poultry have firmly established in this state, in Punjab. This happened mainly because of the research and development work done by the Department of Animal Sciences of PAU under the leadership of Dr. Dev. And at that time, Dr. Baba was the vice chancellor of the university. So, then introduction of crossbred cattle. You see all this new breeds of cattle, Holstein, Friesian, Jersey breeds, and import of poultry breed, white leghorn from the US. They have expanded profitability and dairy and poultry operations were established in Punjab. So Dr. A.S. Adwa, Avtar Singh Adwa, he is known for the honey revolution. He brought the Italian bees. They were tried by many people before, but he brought these Italian bees, and he was successful in establishing these Italian bees. Now, Punjab produces 25% of honey of India. So that's a big achievement. Then there are younger diaspora, younger scientists. Kulvinder Gill is a student of Vikram Gill, and he's a distinguished professor at Washington State University, Bozeman. So he's doing some really interesting work, how the chromosomes pair in wheat, and he has cloned some genes. So he developed a very quick and efficient and accurate marker-assisted background. This is molecular, use of molecular biology. So he can transfer a gene within a short period of time to release a variety, new variety. Well, it takes many years to develop a variety, but he can do it within a couple of years through his technique. So he's developed some gene silencing techniques in wheat. And another scientist, he went in the private company called Pioneer International, Dr. Tugga, Kamarpal Singh Tugga. So he has published some very seminal papers. In the private industry, you really don't publish that much, but he rose to the highest position in the private company. So I think they call him science fellow or something. So it's one of those things, and he published a paper in Science about this. So very difficult to publish in Science. Has anybody published in Science? So try once and see what happens. Then Dr. Gurmukh Johar, another young scientist. He's at Purdue University, and he has several patents to his credit. So he's working on maize, and he has cloned some genes for the first time, and they were very important. So here he's with some colleagues in his greenhouse. Other people, agriculture economists, there must be some